Couple more artists, but Robert's piece deserves a mention. It's great scale. Really one of the largest pieces here. You can see it. It jumps right off that aerial view. Well, there we go. And right into Robert. Robert works at such a fantastic scale. Look at that. Lisa spoke earlier about this continuity of color that has kind of quite remarkably come together in this exhibit, for all of the selected artists. And here again is another example of color that really speaks to the earth. It speaks to this sense of place of our natural surroundings. Again, we hope this is being conveyed well virtually. Of course, when you're standing, within a few feet of Robert's work, there's such great texture, there's depth, there's, this building up of the medium on the canvas, which is tremendous. There's so much to look at in his work, just standing and being with it.
And these look like roots, and also notice the rhythm and the harmony of color, and also the contrast of the greens next to the reds. And this one he currently is calling Siegler Crimson. And so Siegler is, of course, Siegler Springs. Mm-hmm. He has a smaller piece as well that's a print in a G-clay print in a frame that is also right there. There you go, Michael. Thank you. So
it's nice to have a G-clay.
Yeah, and that's a smaller and more affordable approach.
Right.
Basically, for the most part, I think that in this larger one, he's looking at roots and earth and rock, but he very often does close-ups of rocks and the beautiful textures and harmonies and contrasts of colors that they have.
We'd like to look at, Michael, I'll just guide you there. Kim's work is
right there,
right next to, Robert's. I really have enjoyed these pieces as well. Just fantastic. And Kim is here with us. Kim may remind us of the titles, but the lower one is, or maybe it's the upper one, Going Home, and aptly titled. There's both a joy and a certain peculiarity and an incredible intricacy to these pieces. Kim, hi. Nice to have you with us.
Hi. Good to see you.
I hope you didn't mind that I left you to almost the end, but I was so struck as I was moving through the exhibit and looking at all these different ones, and I sort of came to the stopping point with yours, and it just they kind of hit me with this. There's a word like a gravitas. There's just this depth to them, and it's
Oh, I'm glad. Good.
Yeah. Who are these people?
Well, they're meant to sort of serve as meditative tools or contemplative tools. I put them in an iconic form so that it had that gravitas, or that kind of eternal sense of home as an inner space.
Okay.
An internal space, especially in this time of isolation, all the difficulty that I've been going through and other people have been going through trying to adjust to our new world. I actually spent my first 20 years as an interior designer, working at different architecture firms. And so working with space is very familiar to me. And then I've spent the last close to 30 years now as a psychotherapist, working with inner space on a psychological level.
Now, those two industries are very intertwined, as you probably understand. I think.
Yeah. So, and a lot of experience with meditation, and so there's the powerful metaphor in meditation or in Buddhism about having sort of mental, all the thoughts that disturb us and trauma and so forth, and when one kind of goes within and all the different ways that you can do that, how it all sort of settles to the bottom. And so it's meant, I hope that came through in the bottom image, that it's sort of all that's up here has a way of settling down.
Yeah. And there's this kind of spattering that goes on in the top one. How did you achieve that? what sort of technique is that?
That's charcoal powder.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it's sort of shaken and different methods for shaking it onto the, it's quite happenstance. So it's kind of like what you shake is what you get.
Yeah. I love that though, the random nature of it. It's, sort of miniaturized Jackson Pollock maybe.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I did it by accident, actually. I was working on something else and I spread this graphite powder. I thought, oh, wow, that feels like how I feel. So,
yeah, it's a very visual capture. I love that.
Right.
Happy accidents intrigue me. Very happy. So here we go, leaping into something entirely different. This has got a fantastic title. What are you going to make? A bunch of big ass dreidels? Well, yes. In fact, we've got a big ass and quite furry dreidel, unlike any I've ever seen before. This is one of the pieces that has come out of the Cobb Mountain Arts and Ecology Project. I think Jackie Adams might be with us and can speak a little bit to us. We have two of these dreidels. They are massive. They're about 2 feet. 2 feet. Executed initially in ceramic, and taking it to the next level using ceramic as the base medium. You can see where he's gone with it. And
so this is Jonah Flieger. He is an artist in residence at Cobb Mountain Art and Ecology Project. And this is one of two of his works in the gallery at the moment.
Hi, Jonah. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Thanks for having me. So the dreidels were made during my residency at the Morean Art Center in Florida, in St. Petersburg. And the whole show was kind of dealing with these issues of anti-Semitism that I've experienced throughout my life. And the dreidels were kind of a comment on cultural assimilation, which is something I feel like I've had to do in some way in order to, I guess, hide my Jewishness in the environments that I've been involved in. And so the dreidel, I think, is a good example of cultural assimilation because it's not actually a Jewish object. It was kind of based off of a spinning top. I think it was an Irish top called Tea Totem. And so it was adopted for that and brought into kind of around the same time as Christmas times. And so it was used as a game to play instead. And so the fur that I use on the dreidel comes from lesser known stereotypes of Jews kind of being notoriously hairy people.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm sorry, but you've drawn attention to your beard. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I know that.
It's kind of like Where the Wild Things Are meets Jewishness kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's supposed to, for me, it invokes that stereotype, but at the same time, it's also supposed to be a fun thing, something that you can, I guess, kind of laugh at in a way as well. So
one of the dialogues that I had with Jonah is I actually saw his work. I've been I've been cultivating a relationship with the Art and Ecology Project for several years. And I saw on their Instagram, I saw these giant dreidels. And so I was like, what? I have to meet this person. And so I tried to actually convince Jonah to do a new dreidel, which he didn't have time to do, but he might another time, to explain to you, on this top, there are 4 letters. And the 4 letters, when you live in the diaspora, which is where you have to assimilate, are Nes, Nun, which is like an N, and it means miracle. Gadol, Gimel, great, which means great, right? Haya was, that's a hey, and then Sham, a shin, which means there, which refers to the Middle East. and Israel. And so in Israel, our dreidel, which has been assimilated from the lives of all the Jewish people who have lived in the diaspora, in Israel, we say nes, miracle, gadol, great, haya, was here. Because, of course, the miracle of Hanukkah happened in Jerusalem, in Israel. And so I tried to coax Jonah to do one that also had the here, because I still think that the miracle of regrowth that happens after the fire is just entirely miraculous. And so I really, at some point, I'm sure we'll do this. Right, Jonah?
I have it. It's in the studio. It's in progress still, but it's just drying out right now. It's going on.
Wonder of wonder, miracles of miracles.
Michael, could you take us into the small gallery to show us Jonah's other piece?
Oh yeah.
There it is. I love this. Look at that. It's massive. And you do kind of want to pick it up and give it a twirl.
Totally.
It does spin.
It does spin, really. And this is ceramic, guys. This is made of ceramic. If you didn't know the better, you'd think, oh, it's like some sort of formed fiberglass or whatever. It's ceramic, which is so beautiful. And I love that the Hebrew letters are rendered in that beautiful metallic reflective paint. It's just really engaging.
Yeah, you can see them really clearly here.
Yeah, really beautiful. And just there's such a luster to them.
So this one was supposed to, I guess, evoke a different time period. I guess more towards the 40s, in my mind at least. And then the cinder blocks were supposed to just be a substrate. I guess that would be normally under a tile. So it's supposed to be like finished and unfinished, like it was kind of torn from its location, removed from it and displaced and kind of put on display somewhere else.
Mm.
And and for this one, the dreidel was finished with the silver luster and the genuine silver leaf on the top. It was supposed to be just a more decorative dreidel, just something that was, I guess, owned more, I guess, of a higher class, if you will, in some way. And I think actually one thing I forgot to mention was the title of the piece is "What Are You Going to Make? A Bunch of Big Ass Dreidels." It was something that was actually said to me during my residency in Florida. I was getting ready to make a bunch of work to display at an art festival that was coming up there, and the owner of the art center basically said that, and it just became a title for me and kind of inspiration for this work.
Could be a very defining theme for you to just carry forward, continue to explore.
Yeah, it's definitely something I plan on continuing with.
Well,